going on, everybody? You are live with Osiris. Welcome to the Author's Lounge. The world is filled with storytellers, and I, along with my guests, are here today in the Author's Lounge to help educate and inspire the young generation of writers and creators. Now, my guests are professionals in publishing, writers from a wide range of formats, and successful entertainers. They will provide beneficial advice on what to do and what not to do on your path to success. So, without further ado, I'll present to you our next guest. Let's go. It is with great pleasure that I say I get to speak with so many people from all across the world, quite literally. And when I started this show, I just had a vision of helping people who really needed it. That was a writer and a creator, and just wanted to inspire the younger generation. But now, here we are in positions to continuously help people get better and build a stronger community. So this next guest that I have here today, I actually met him at the San Francisco Writers Conference in February. The weekend of February 7th to February 10th, as when I met him at that conference, and an outstanding guy, a wonderful human being with such a great message that he wants to convey. He is an entrepreneur, a home designer. He's an author and a writer. And yes, some people may think that being an author is being a writer. It is, but there is actually a difference. I don't necessarily need to get into it, but he's a writer. He has a great passion for learning and professional growth. So without further ado, I present to you Mr. Scott J. Sallinger. What's going on with you, good sir?
Hey, Osiris. It's great to be here, man. You got
Yes,
great
sir.
energy and excited about this.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, same here. So, let me first say this. I'm really grateful that you, despite the time frame that has been between February and now, that you were still willing to come on to this show and still work out something for us to do together. Because I was looking forward to collaborating with you when we met and we talked in the at the
Definitely.
Hyatt Regency Hotel.
Feel ya. Yeah, me too, man. It's good stuff. A lot has
Yes,
unfolded
sir.
since then, man. I've been being around inspiring people at the Writer Conference, including yourself. It just like blew open the doors for my own creativity and inspired me to really dig and dive a little deeper into my own expression. Definitely.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. So, question regarding while we're on the topic of the San
Sure.
Francisco Writers Conference. Anytime that I see a conference or I attend a conference and I'm on a presenter side, I'm always curious on what the experience was like for those who came in attendance to learn. But how many opportunities opened up for you since attending that conference?
Oh yes, Cyrus, amazing. I've been to several before that every year, and this my latest book has been evolving over the years, and I met some amazing, inspiring people that I've kept in contact with, and actually at the show you actually pitched to different agents, and it was just like this overwhelming results that I got. I have five agents interested in my new book called Shaping Spaces, and it's helping couples that are moving in together, starting a family, getting married, that want to make the most of their home life and be really conscious and purposeful with that.
Hmm.
And so this is really exciting. I've been kind of really scrambling to get the book proposal, really to refine it. And as I've been doing the book proposal, it's just like more ideas, and the vision has filled up, and the details, and even just my own belief within my own self has gotten even stronger. And I really see that's the power of writing, and writing your ideas down and communicate them, because it's just like you're putting them out there, then they have a chance to simmer within you, but they're also on paper, and then they just evolve naturally as you
Yeah.
engage into it even more.
Mhm. It's like the story takes a life of its own, and it just continuously grows. And then you meet people, and then they talk to you, and then more
Oh,
ideas that you didn't have comes about. Does that happen with you often?
it's like the saying 1 plus 1 equals 3, because it's like
Yeah.
you bring one person had their ideas, you have your ideas, and you bring them together, and all of a sudden there's something else that's born from both of those
Hmm.
people.
Yeah. It just grows legs, man. But I'm glad to hear that experience. It just writer conferences in general are a
Oh
great
yeah.
experience just all around. And speaking of conferences, I think that's a great place to meet people. I forgot which one of the agencies I spoke with. Andy Ross. He was
Oh
actually one
yeah.
of the agents that was there. But I spoke with Andy. I actually had him on this show like several episodes ago. But he had said like how important it is for writers, specifically writers, to get out and go to these writing conferences. Now, I think that is also important. I also think to kind of caveat off what he was talking about, which is just going to different types of conferences that have people in your creative space, whether they are a writer or maybe they are an illustrator that wants to collaborate with a writer. If you go to these creative type of events, you may meet people that you never thought to meet. Has that been your experience, or what has been your experience with going to writing conferences or conferences as a whole?
Yeah, Osiris, that's great. That's a great insight. And it is, you think about environments, like who are the people that you want to surround yourself with that inspire you, that you connect with, that you can share your ideas. It's a give and take. And so that's really part of being a creator is choosing these nurturing environments. And the Writers Conference is definitely a nurturing environment, and it's a learning environment, it's a sharing environment, it's exploring environment. It has so much depth to it. And that's been part of my journey is, like you said, and these different mediums or skill sets, whether it be writing, marketing, or like you said, illustrating or filmmaking or business, whatever it may be. When you get together with your people, if you want to, it's like there's an intention with that. Like I'm going there to meet my people that resonate with me. It's very different than I'm going to visit my parents, which they have their own ideas and they may connect with you on this journey that you're on or not, or certain friends that are just, that are friends that may not be writing friends, or, that are friends that with similar depth interests that you have that you wanted to explore. So it's really this importance of this environment that you're creating, choosing, and nurturing. That's vital to your growth and expansion as a creator.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you bring up some really good points about that. Just going and being with your people, the people who you identify with, those who are in your space, because that's where you can grow from. You go there, and sure, you could talk to friends, sure, you could talk to family, but unless they are directly embedded into that particular niche that you are wanting to flourish in, you won't really make a connection and grow from there. They'll help you. There are many times, though, I will say that family members are the ones who hold back their people
Sure.
because maybe out of fear, maybe like out of
Totally.
fear of, hey, maybe do it this way. We don't want you. I don't believe parents come from a standpoint of, hey, no, you won't be successful. Don't do that. I think it's more out of fear of no, especially if that business that they're doing, like you're an entrepreneur, so you are no stranger to taking chances on yourself. But what has been your experience? Maybe not with you and your family, but maybe people that you've known who've wanted to just go and make something for themselves that is completely left from what their family had taught them.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a great point, Cyrus. Is yeah, if you have this family that you're brought up and they have their viewpoints, they have their great intentions, right? They're doing the best they can. My mom and my dad, they're doing the best they can, but yet there's fear that they have, and they may not understand the journey that I'm going on, right? And so it's like I it's kind of like this tug and pull. Like I want them to understand and I want them to share and support me, yet they may not understand, or it may not even
Right.
be in their in their wheelhouse to even know what I'm up to, or understand that depth. And it's been interesting, the journey, because I think at first I was a little frustrated. I was a little angry, even I would say even angry that my mom wouldn't support me or even just understand. But it was just that she wanted my safety. She wanted me to be secure. She wanted me to
Mm.
have predictability in my life. And sometimes, when you're an entrepreneur, even a writer, author, it's like you're going into the unknown, right? And
Yeah.
what a beautiful journey. And it's,
Hmm.
yet it's not so tangible and not so, you know, I don't know if explainable is
Right.
if that's even a word. We just made that up, right?
Yeah.
So, because
No,
I
those
mean,
are good points.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry. I
and
wasn't trying to cut you off. Yeah.
oh, I just that sometimes when you're in the middle of the journey, you don't even understand it yourself. You're just moving forward and you're writing and you're explaining and you're talking and you're going in introspection. You're trying it out. You're sharing with your people, right? You're getting feedback, and so there's this really kind of discovery process as it's unfolding.
Hmm. No, for sure, man. And I think one of the things that you had mentioned about the predictability, that part is what most people tend to fall on, like a schedule that's predictable, something that they can go off of and move in that direction. I think that's totally fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I do believe that is where many people get stuck at. If they have ambitions and these aspirations and these big dreams, which by all means, make your living for sure. But at the same time,
Sure.
I definitely do believe that the predictability of a schedule, going to school, getting a degree, and applying that degree into a career field is something of comfort. And it's not an easy path by any means. I don't think even getting a degree is easy. You have to commit so much time and effort and money into that. But many people who even go to college don't apply that degree that they spent all these years going to college for, and but they still have that to fall back on. But pretty much what I'm getting at is that some people go to school or some people do whatever they do because of what they learned growing up, maybe from family, maybe from friends.
Totally.
But it takes a lot of courage and a lot of ambition to say, you know what, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I'm going to be a writer, I'm going to be an author, and I'm going to start this business, I'm going to start this writing journey, and I'm going to see where it takes me. So for you, you have your own business, and this is kind of derail a little bit off of the writing piece and really talk about like the business that you started and why you're so passionate about it and how it's been helpful for families.
Oh yeah, that's great. I love that, Cyrus. Yeah, it's like you said, to conform and to just follow this path that seemed like the right way, or the way that everybody else is doing it, can be challenging, right? There can be a lot of pushback and just kind of almost even self doubt. Yet to follow kind of like this calling. You said that little whisper that's whispering in your ear, and I
Hmm.
want to explore this a little bit more, and also be practical at the same time, right? You can have both practicality and creativity. It just takes a little bit of sorting out a bit.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey in all of that because it's not one or the other. I think that's to that point. I would say when I talk about my life unfolding as I've written, and I mean I write ideas every day that don't necessarily have to do with my book or even my business. It's almost like these things pop in my head and I go, oh, I'm going to grab that. That's good stuff. That's juicy stuff.
Yeah.
And what it is that nothing in your life is a mistake. There may be pain and there may be regret tied to it, yet it is just an unfolding of you, and you as a creator or owning your power as a creator have the option to pivot, you know,
Hmm.
and go, okay, this isn't working, or let me fine tune this, or that mistake or that path led me to here, and thank you, great, I'm glad I made it here, right? And now I'm a little clearer, and so where do I go from here? and,
Right.
and the writing, I would say, is part of that visioning. So it's like as you're getting downloads and ideas and clarifying it and learning from other people and being in these communities like we're talking about is capturing that and seeing how that is part of the unfolding of your own journey.
Oh, wow. That is so well said. And I really love the idea of taking out maybe like a pen or a pencil and writing something down. There's so many times, right? And not even just for a writer, but maybe for people in general who just have these ideas. And they have so many ideas, and then once they dive into that one idea, more ideas begin to come, and it's like, how do I keep up with this? And there was a buddy of mine who had said it's a lightning in a bottle. You got to capture it like immediately, or you'll forget about it. And I think to your point is, writing down these ideas, even if you don't do anything with the ideas that you had, the idea that you just wrote it down, I think is
Yeah,
imperative because you may need to come back to it later. Um,
totally.
if for anything else, you have it on paper. So how important is it, in your opinion, right, to capture it immediately or at least as soon as you can to I have this idea. Let me put it on paper. Dang it, I don't have anything to write with. I got to hold on to it. How important is that?
A napkin, my T-shirt, my arm. Oh, I got to get down, right?
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
great. No, I love that. Well, I besides even capturing that idea is the releasing. I think of it as this energy that wants to move through you, right? And it's like
Mm.
it wants to release itself. It wants to express itself, and you're giving it a path to do so, right? Even if it's just like you can't even keep up. Like I said, it's like lightning in the bottle. It's just coming through, and
Uh-huh.
and and it's interesting because there's an intention with that. Like you had talked about a little earlier about this idea of scheduling writing. If you allow yourself 15 minutes a day just to download, right? So it's like I'm allowing it to flow. And then it's not like all of a sudden you just open up the dam and it's like, but
Yeah.
you've opened the valve just a little bit each day to allow it to flow, and then it feels like, or just my experience has been, is that it'll pop out in certain spots and kind of come to me in trickles where it's like, oh, this is pleasant. I'm receiving it, I'm expressing it, I'm documenting it, I'm seeing how it's fitting in the bigger picture of my journey,
Hmm.
and it's a pleasant journey, and because there's a commitment and an intention that I have with it, an agreement, right? Where it's like I'm connecting with God, higher source, spirit, whatever you want to call it, and it's downloading, and I am capturing, I'm honoring it, and going, oh, this is good. And, oh, there you are.
There we go. Yeah, no worries. But capturing it and honoring it, yes. And you know, I think when it comes to doing anything with whether it's creative or business, it's important to have a support system. I know we had mentioned before we went on air, we were talking about, you went to go visit your family. How important, in your opinion, is it that even if they have nothing to do in terms of creatively or giving you ideas, how important is it that you have family as your foundation or family support?
Um, you know what? I feel like if you want to call family the people you choose or the
Hmm.
family that raised you, I mean, there's different kinds of family. And I think it's only fair, like from the family that raised you, is you can't expect too much. I mean, there
Right.
may be at times where it's like you ease them into your dream, so to speak. I think because as a child, I was very ambitious and had a lot of dreams and talked big. And my mom would always be, "All right, Scotty, that's nice. No, but we need to do something that's, consistent or that's, uh, um, stable, right?" And so
Yeah.
I actually thank my mom in that because there was this kind of thing to reel me in from like this, floating around in space a little bit and dreaming. And it's a great to vision. Yet it's how can you bring that down and bring it to the tangible, and then it
Yeah.
comes to the writing. I mean, we're writing that idea or taking that and then sorting it out on paper or just finding the language that captures that essence. But getting back to your question about family, is that I feel like if I expect my family for support, that it's unfair. That
Yeah.
I can find my writers conference and my writers like such as yourself as part of my my writing, my creative
Hmm.
family, right? It's like we not
Right.
be may not be blood related, but we are purpose related, or just this interest related in that way,
Hmm.
right? So
For
I think
sure.
it's important to distinguish when you're looking at for support, is that who you're getting support for and what kind of relationship do you have, and maybe are you being maybe a little unfair on what you expect from them, which ultimately leads you to being felt let down, right? And even
Right.
hurt, or even resentful. It can go, but it's like who gets me. I'm not trying to change them. I'm not expecting them to try to change me. It's like who am I aligned with? I think that's even as you're going down this journey, is to find that your alignment with the people that are
Hmm.
in your vibe, so to speak.
For
I put it
sure.
that way.
Yeah. Being in alignment with the people, with your people, with your creative people, your circle, your business people, whoever your people are, that's who you should find a really a strong connection with. So kind of get back on this. So I'll just ask you a couple of more questions before I send you
Sure.
on your way. But I wanted to ask regarding writing, right? Like there's
Uh
always
huh.
a moment in somebody's life where they feel like this is what I should do, or at least this is the direction I should go in and kind of explore it. For you, what was that magical moment that told you I should probably consider being a writer?
I love that. That's great. It's interesting. I reflect back when I was a teenager. One of my favorite books was Words of Wisdoms, and
Mhm.
it was a book of quotes. And that's what I really found was inspiring, was if I wrote quotes or things that helped me along the way, keep my perspective healthy and strong and powerful. And that led to songwriting. I was actually a songwriter back in the 80s. I wrote music and I wrote lyrics, and then there's a melody, and really a lot of fun with it because it was about expression, but it was also had a melody and a rhythm to it.
Hmm.
And and it was like, what's the good word that still has substance but still has this flow to it? And I think
Yeah.
that's really where I got hooked, was in my writing of the music. Was I was my headspace was there, was that when I was 16, 18 years old. So it's like that I had a limited amount of experience in life, yet there was this kind of flow where it's like it had substance and it was also pretty to listen to the same way.
Hmm.
And that's what I've carried along the way in my path of writing, was something that was inspiring and it had substance. It meant something, and it was also pleasant to listen to. And it was like, and so it had me explore different words. So I would, as I did my mind dumping, I write things down and I go, okay, there's another word for that. Let me explore that. So I would look it up. And so I became this master at definitions, or looking up definitions and finding words that expressed what this feeling and this emotion and this meaning was, that also was fun to say, and also was kind of catchy. And it worked great with my business because I would write marketing materials for my business that was about this mindfulness about your home environment and your living space. And so it was like, I want something that's not also informative and entertaining, but also fun at the same time. And it was like, it took a little bit of work to find those words. And it was like writing it over and over again. And then it was just like, oh, that when I say that, when I speak that, it resonates with me. It makes me feel good, and it means something, and it connects with others, and they get it too. So
Oh yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. That's to hear where it began and where you've taken it. So the last question I have for you, and then I'll send you on your way, is it's a question that I generally like to ask every guest, and that is, what advice, right, do you have for if you had to sit down with somebody and you knew they were getting started, they're really young, aspiring writers or authors or creators, and they want to get their foot in the door. Like, what advice would you give them?
I would say that writing is your first form of creation. It takes an idea from your mind and brings it into the tangible world. And the biggest service that you could do for yourself is not to judge it, not to try to make it perfect, but to allow it to express itself and give it the attention and the place to express itself. And just write, like we were talking about, 15 minutes a day, honor that mind dump, that taking those ideas and dreams that you have and put it to paper, and then watch it start to come alive, and massage it a little bit. What is that, the word that resonates with this feeling that I'm trying to convey? Does that paint the picture that I'm trying to paint, right? And do a little research and look it up. The dictionary's great, Google's great. There's a lot of words out there we can use that that work great.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, hey, I like that very much, and thank you for just being able to provide some wisdom and some people who may certainly need it. Everybody, we come from all different walks of life, all different types of backgrounds, and knowledge that we garner over the years to all pour it out and to give to somebody else. To me, it's just an endless, continuous, well-oiled machine of a positive cycle for people to just gain knowledge. You feed it to them, they feed it to whomever, then whomever
Definitely.
they fed it to feeds, and it's just a continuous cycle. So I love that very much. Well, hey Scott, man, you've been freaking awesome, dude, and it was wonderful having you on. Finally being able to get you on board.
I really appreciate it, Cyrus, and it's my honor. Man, good times, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Of course. Thank you so much. Hey, any closing remarks before I let you go?
I would say enjoy the process. Allow yourself to release and express yourself, because you have a unique voice, a unique message, and you have worth, and you have value, and the world needs to hear it.
Yes, sir. You have worth and you have value. Oh, that's perfect to end it on. Hey, that's all the time I got for you all. Thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to tune into today's episode with the wonderful Mr. Scott J. Sallinger. It was a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to continuing to stay in touch with you, good sir. You all
Thank you.
take care, of course, and I'll catch you next time.